It is episode 562 of PodQuest.
Hey.
Hello.
I'm trying not to sneeze. It is Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. I am Chris. With me is Druten.
Hello.
And Walnut.
And I realized when you said, are you guys ready to go? I still had like 2 bites left of my rice cake that I'm trying not to crunch too loud into the mic.
Man.
You know, I appreciate your effort. I like how you forgot you were eating, too. Like, that's...
So, it broke into 2 pieces. And I ate the bigger piece and put the smaller piece down. And then came in and was like... we just went right to it. We didn't like really dilly-dally. And I looked down and was like, oh fuck, I still got 2 bites. And I don't want it to sit for an hour or 2. So let me just... And I went to go eat it. And I took a big crunch out of it. And I just saw the waveforms go on Audacity. I'm like, okay, let me move the mic away. Now let me move it back closer to me. And oh boy. Yeah. It's been a day. It's been a day.
Haven't they all? Haven't they all? On the bright side, it does not look like Discord picked it up at all.
No.
Or at least I didn't hear the crunch.
Yeah.
So, you know, probably safe. How you guys doing?
Oh, doing all right.
You know, I've been dealing with allergy issues with eyes the past few days. I finally got eye drops, and today's the first day I haven't been dealing with any issues. However, today's probably the first day allergies haven't been that bad for anybody because it's cold and wet.
So the wet never helps my allergies. If anything, sometimes they're worse when it rains.
The wet helps mine, it seems, because like my eye hasn't been bothering me as much. So we'll see what happens over the next. Well, because it's supposed to be wet tomorrow too. I think.
Did you get allergy eye drops?
I did. I got eye itch relief allergy eye drops.
Good call.
Antihistamine eye drops. So we'll see if those help.
Yeah, eye drops are like my last resort because I honestly have trouble using them. So I cannot actually put them into my eye. I just can't keep my eye open to do it. So I end up like putting it in the corner and just kind of like trying to get it to like slide over into the rest of the eye.
Yeah, makes sense. Driving to the show on Sunday after game night or game day, I almost had to pull over because my eye started to bother me while I was driving.
Yeah, I mean, standing out there, like, since it ended up being outside, like, I had a few times where, like, I definitely felt my allergies kind of working up. Like, my eyes were getting a little itchy. I had, like, some sniffles going on, like, which I actually have right now.
Yeah.
I'm just like, come on, just hold it together.
Yeah.
And I got through it. But, man, fuck pollen.
Yeah. Fuck Mother Nature trying to kill us.
Yeah, you'd think we would be better acclimated to, like, the world. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, same with dogs, though. Like, why do dogs have allergies?
I agree.
Makes no
like,
sense.
Poor Benny has allergies. And he is too sweet of a boy to have allergies.
He's such an old man. He doesn't need all that stuff.
They have been better so far this year. Like a lot of times, like, he gets, like really sensitive skin where, like, you pet him and, like, he immediately starts, like, scratching at himself.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't had that yet this year. So we're hoping maybe he doesn't get it at all.
That's good. Hopefully, I mean... We had a pretty cold winter. It wasn't super mild as a normal, like it was colder than normal, or colder than recent years. So allergies shouldn't be as bad this year. Especially since like this spring has also been pretty mild to not like incredibly hot. We've had a few hot days, but it hasn't been like incredibly warm and incredibly like spring-like. It's been like a lot cooler of a spring.
Yeah, definitely so far.
Yeah.
But enough of that. Rich, what's on the agenda?
So this week was a book club week. We all should have watched Commando. Which I've got a couple of questions that I want to know if like you guys caught or if you guys have answers to. Then Cobb, you watched Dragon Ball Daima, which is the newest series, right? Like was it the series that was being made when he passed away?
Yeah, it is the last thing that Toriyama worked on.
Yeah. I watched the latest My Hero Academia movie called You're Next that we can discuss. And I started playing 2 new games, Link to the Past and Schedule 1.
Link to the Past, the newest game from 1991.
Well, 2 new games to me.
I know, I'm just teasing you.
Look, I've never played it before.
Man, you're 30 years behind. Catch up.
Look, I just beat Super Mario World for the first time.
That is true.
We didn't have an SNES. Like, we didn't. So, I don't have any nostalgia for SNES games at all. because we didn't have one.
It explains so much about you.
I guess.
No, I don't know. So what did you guys think of Commando?
It is the epitome of action movie.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many one-liners, that they had, how many like action hero like one-liner like exit one-liners and whatnot that they had. It's fantastic. It's a great if you look up action movie, you get Commando. I never realized that Schwarzenegger says "I'll be back" in most of his action movies.
Does he say it other than this one? And
I looked it up.
Does he say it in other things prior to Terminator 2 other than this?
So he says it in Terminator 1 as well.
Oh, does he?
So
really?
The first time he says it is in Terminator 1.
Okay, I did not know that.
Hold on, let me look it back up again. Because there's literally an entire wiki page around "I'll be back."
So I know, post Terminator 2, he definitely says it a bunch. I wasn't sure if it was a thing that happened before that, because this was the first time I ever caught it while watching Commando.
Yeah, so he says it in Terminator 1 in 84, "I'll be back," after being denied entry into the police station. And then the next time he says it is in Commando, when he says "I'll be back, Bennett." And then in 87, he says it in The Running Man. He says "I'll be back" as he faces off against evil game show host Damon Killen. Then in 88, he says it in Twins, so it's not even an action film. He says it in Twins, "If you're lying to me, I'll be back," in a scene in
Jesus, his Twins really from 1988?
Lab. Yeah, Twins is 1988. Then the next one he says it is 91, which is T2. Then he says it in Last Action Hero. He says it in... Then it goes back to Terminator T3. He says it. Terminator Salvation. He says it. The Expendables 2. He says it. And then Bruce Willis turns around and is like, "You've been back enough. I'll be back." And then Bruce Willis runs off. And then Genesis and Dark Fate. So he's said it. What was that? 1, 2,
a lot.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. He said it in 11 different movies.
That's actually really funny.
I had to look that up when he said it here, because I was like, wait, was I wrong? I always thought, is that one of those Mandela effect things where, we all thought it was always from this, but it's in, whereas, it's the actual line is, "No, I am your father, not Luke, I'm your father."
Yeah.
And I was like, is it one of those things, or is it just, he's synonymous with "I'll be back," that we got it wrong, and it's always from this? No, I had to look it up, and it's...
He says it in everything.
He says it in in a lot of his, specifically action films, but in a lot of his films, he has "I'll be back" in it. Twins is maybe the one that's the furthest, or the most, I don't know if that counts, because it's "If you're lying to me, I'll be back." But it works. In Last Action Hero, he says it 3 times.
Well, I mean, that movie is nothing but one-liners.
Yeah, we should watch Last Action Hero.
Well, you know what? We have to do another theme. Let's do the 90s, and then we can do Last Action Hero.
I mean, we could. Or we could just do Schwarzenegger movies and just get 3 more sets of Schwarzenegger movies.
I'm actually looking real quick to see if Last Action Hero is actually even available anywhere.
Probably not.
So I have not seen that movie in a long time.
Not for free, according to the Googles. But
it looks, maybe, no? Is that rent? Okay, yeah, it's rent on
it's rental on Prime, on Google, on Apple, and on Fandango. You can rent stuff through Fandango.
I always thought it was weird you can rent things off of YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube's got its own rental service now and whatnot.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Well, it's like YouTube TV, and it says premium subscription for YouTube. So I don't know which one you would need a premium subscription to watch it.
Right.
However, the rest of the movie, though, I thought it was great. It was entertaining, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stupid 80s action film.
Yeah.
One of my favorite lines is on the plane when he says, "Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired."
Yeah. Oh, it's that body would start smelling within 3 hours.
That's fine. He was long off the plane by then.
I know, but the plane would have landed before reaching Mexico if somebody had died 3 hours into the flight, or less than 3 hours into the flight.
You have to keep in mind, this is 1985. The people that were tracking him would have no idea about that.
Well, no,
you couldn't go online and like look that stuff up.
No, I know. I'm saying, like, for the movie wise, like, that plane would have landed within 3 hours.
I mean, do they ever say that the plane landed where it was going?
Yeah, at the near the end of the movie, like, there's people that check the body and then go call the big man.
Oh, that's right. That does happen.
Yeah, like, it gets exactly where it goes. So that body would have started smelling within a few hours. Like, there's no way that plane would have made it all the way to South America. That's just all we know where they were going, was South America.
No, 24 to 48 hours.
Really?
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Okay. But still, 11 hours. How did
super like pressurized in a pressurized cabin, like
yeah. I mean,
and planes already smell bad. They're full of cigarettes back in 1985.
True. How did the stewardesses not notice that Schwarzenegger never returned to his seat?
I mean, that's just they don't give a shit, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got a quick question. I have three questions about this. Question number one. Was it some form of prejudice that they gave the Australian a knife?
No, because I mean, like, Schwarzenegger also had a knife.
Yeah, but his whole thing was having a knife throughout the movie. His whole thing was having a knife. Like, he always had a knife up until the end where he did shoot Schwarzenegger once. But his whole thing was about having a knife.
Yeah, but that's
just the year before Crocodile Dundee, so...
Oh, so Crocodile Dundee stole it from this.
Like, Crocodile Dundee really, like, ruined the impression of Australians for a lot of years.
Number two, next question. Probably just something fun, some fun observation. During the end sequence when they're on the island, and Schwarzenegger throws a grenade into the open field, and it lands between the two guys, and they get blown away. Did you see the launch pads?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you could see the launch pads that threw them up into the air. Because I mean, it's still the 80s, so like it's really hard to paint out like wires and stuff. So like they used the launch pads to actually throw people. I caught that. Like,
so many of the things they did, like the over the top physics, were just very obvious.
Yeah.
Or like when he like picks up the saw blades and is able to just throw them to like cut off arms, and
he cut a guy's head off. Like scold him. He scolded him completely, like
by throwing it.
Yeah. I thought it was like it was ridiculous. Like he kidnapped the girl, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the cops on him." And then like she finds out, all right, maybe he's trustworthy after she gets the cops on him. And then she tries to guilt him, like, "Look, I tried to help you." Like, you know, you didn't.
I mean, she does after that, like, blow up like a police transport with a fucking rocket launcher.
Look, she felt bad for tattletaling. That's what it was. She felt bad.
I mean, yes, that is probably true.
The army surplus store having a secret room of all guns. I doubt that's actually what an army surplus store would ever have.
Well, no, like that was illegal. Like that was definitely like that place did not sell those legally. That's why it was a hidden switch that opened up like a secret room.
Yeah. The fact that they had to get him shirtless at least twice. Was he shirtless twice? Well, he was just in his undies at one point. So yeah, and then he was shirtless at the end when he was doing the big fight against the Australian dude. So yeah, they had to get him shirtless twice. And then the one time, like one of those two times, he was in his undies. I was just like, this is unnecessary. Like, why? Why is he naked? He's like scuba diving. He should have a full-on like dive suit on. That's how commandos do shit. But he's too ripped to wear a friggin' dive suit.
Which, I mean, like, you know, it's Schwarzenegger. They got to do what they got to do, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always thought this movie was like fun and stupid.
Yeah. It is. It's just something to watch. My last question, and this is the most important question. This is the thing that, like, I had to check it twice when I saw it. In the hotel fighting scene, when they break into the other room and the couple's having sex, was the guy getting pegged?
I think so, yeah. I mean, they were definitely filming a porno. There was a camera set up.
Was there? I didn't see the camera set up. All I saw was they were both under covers. They go through the door. The guy is on his knees with his ass to her, and she's on, like, behind him, and they throw the covers off. Like, obviously you don't see any toys or anything like that, but it's just like, dude was straight up getting pegged in this 1980s movie. Like, I was like, wait, what? What? I literally had to double take on that. Because I was not expecting it. Like, why is the guy facing away from her? Like, none of it made sense to me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what was happening. That whole scene was just like that was such an 80s scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always have fun with this movie. I was saying to Erica while we were watching it, it's been at least a decade, if not longer, since I've seen it.
I think it's the first time I've ever seen it.
Probably longer, honestly. And like there are certain things I very clearly remember. I remember like him carrying the tree through the forest because it's fucking stupid.
Look, I remember plenty of survival games where the lead character can carry like 3 or 4 tree trunks. No, I think it usually maxes out at 2, maybe 3 tree trunks at one time when you're trying to build your base. So like, it's not that crazy.
No, it's stupid. I remember like the scene with the rocket launcher. I remember them like getting all the stuff from the definitely illegal gun store. I remember like the island, the plane, like there's a lot of bits and pieces I remember. I remember the airplane in the shopping mall, but a bunch of stuff in between, no memory of whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Like them like breaking into like that warehouse at one point. Don't remember that scene at all. Didn't remember that they chased the one dude with the Porsche down and like dropped him off of a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, like I thought that whole thing just began and ended at the mall. I mean, so, like, watching it, I'm just like, man, like I remember like these certain set pieces, and then like what actually happened, I just didn't.
You're not really made to remember the story. You're made to remember the action, and that's what it was. Like, so even though it was like a car chasing, it was just story. It was just like, oh, well, here's where they're going next. And so like you remember like, oh, they go from here to there. They go from the mall to the motel. But how they get there, it doesn't really matter because it is an 80s action film. The story does not matter.
Hey, it matters.
There was what was it? There was something I just thought of as you were talking about it. I can't remember now. Shit. Yeah, I'm blanking. I had something I wanted to bring up that I can't. Oh, that's right. Fucking Claymore mines can blow up buildings.
Anything can blow up a building if you try hard enough.
Claymore mine does not explode. It doesn't explode in a sense of.
I know.
Fiery boom though. Like it's a forward projectile. Like it shoots pellets out at you. It's basically like a shotgun. He blew up several buildings with Claymore mines placed around them. I love it. Man, I love it.
Maybe they were not actually Claymores. Maybe they were just full of C4.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think so.
I know. It's a stupid fun movie.
Yeah.
Like it's really just there for Arnold to be Arnold.
When he kills like the guy who wants to overthrow the president, he long shots him with a shotgun 5 times.
Yeah. He also he kills the Australian guy with a fucking pipe. Like not like beats him with a pipe, like literally and throws like a huge like piece of pipe through his torso.
Like he throws it so hard it goes through the boiler behind him and it's then spewing out steam afterward. I don't know if you caught that, but like it spews out steam after he hits him.
And then he tells him to let off some steam.
Yeah. Like and then the very end of the movie, his daughter is hugging this woman she's never met before.
I know, that's also very weird. This whole movie is just goofy. It's funny, Erica had never seen it. So when the the police, or not the police, the army major or whatever he was showed up and then leaves and then people immediately start dying, she's like, oh, he's the bad guy. And I'm just like, he's actually not. Like,
yeah.
But like everything about this movie sets it up where like, yeah, you would expect him to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Also, man, his 2 soldiers that are supposed to be really good, they did not last.
They couldn't smell the people. That's what it was.
Arnold could, though.
Arnold could. That's the Conan the Barbarian training he's got.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I love this movie. It's stupid. Drew, what did you think of it?
It's the generic 80s action movie.
AKA
it was fine.
Awesome. You know, they're definitely those movies you can't go into expecting anything other than just over-the-top bullshit. Like,
yeah,
like Rich said, like it's not there for the story or anything like that. Like, if you go in there expecting to be, like, moved by it, you're just going to be disappointed. It's not Schindler's List.
Yeah.
But, cool. Well, anything else either you guys want to say about Commando?
No. No.
Nope.
All right. Well, what's our next theme then?
I think it's your choice, isn't it?
Didn't I pick the 80s, or Drew, did you pick the 80s?
I don't pick themes.
I gave you the option. No, you know what? I gave you the option, and you went with the 80s.
Maybe that sounds right.
Let's do the 90s then. Rich, pick a 90s movie.
Oh, fuck. Now I gotta pick a 90s movie, man.
Yeah, it's back to you, motherfucker.
90s movie list. Here we go. Ooh. Let's see. I mean, we gotta see if they're actually available. Oh, shit. It's right. The Matrix is a 90s film.
Yes, it is. I think it's on HBO also.
Probably.
Which is now HBO again.
No, it's HBO Max.
Oh yeah, but still, like it's it's coming back around.
Yeah. Let's see. No, that's not available. Speaking of Schindler's, no, I don't want to watch that.
How about The Rock?
I fucking love that movie.
I've actually never seen it.
You've never seen it? Well, you might have to pick it for yourself. Great movie. Let's see. Oh, yep, there we go. Goodfellas.
Okay. Have you ever seen Goodfellas?
I have.
Okay. I saw it once 25 years ago.
About the same.
I remember enjoying it.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a good film. It's a good film. I like it. We could do Kindergarten Cop.
Didn't we do Kindergarten Cop?
No. No, I don't think we did. We never did Kindergarten Cop.
So it leaves Peacock in 10 days.
So looking at just Wiki's top 10 grossing films of the 90s.
Wait, is Kindergarten Cop the top grossing film of the 90s?
Of just 1990, not the 90s. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Of just 1990, Kindergarten Cop is number 10, and Total Recall is number 7. So Schwarzenegger had a good year that year.
I mean, Total Recall, good movie.
I've never seen the Schwarzenegger Total Recall. Or I might have, but I never seen it all the way through.
It's better than the Colin Farrell one.
Mm-hmm.
That was Colin Farrell, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. But cool. So in 2 weeks, we are going to watch Goodfellas.
Yeah.
All right. And what was that on?
It's on like everything, I think.
All right.
It's at least on Netflix. According to where to watch on the Googles, it's Netflix and Max or HBO Max.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's available.
Works for me. So I watched Dragon Ball Daima, however you're supposed to say it.
Daima.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone actually say it out loud to know.
They don't say Dragon Ball Daima at any point throughout this show?
No.
Then why call it that? What the hell?
Honestly, I'm not sure if that word means something. Like maybe if it's like a Japanese word that actually like relates to it. This was delightful though. They did such a nice job with it, and they kept it short. It's only 20 episodes. So if you don't know what this one is, it takes place immediately after the Buu saga. So within a year also, because the Dragon Balls have not regenerated yet. They're still the stones. And it kind of like, it really changes a lot of Dragon Ball lore around. So during the Buu saga, you're introduced to King Deborah, who is like the demon world king. And this show elaborates on that by actually showing us the demon world. Like that's where they go. So basically the guy who takes over after Deborah is killed decides that he doesn't trust that the people of Earth that defeated Buu and Deborah won't like come looking for them for absolutely no reason whatsoever. So they travel to like the Earth realm and wish everyone to be children, and then steal Dende and head back to the demon world. And in this whole thing, you find out that actually basically every Dragon Ball character that has pointy ears is from the demon realm in one way or another. So the Supreme Kais are all from this demon world. And it's actually like explained that when the universes were created, they were some of the first like citizens of the demon world to like leave the demon realms. And they were like given those like posts basically to like help oversee like the rest of the universe as like different races from the demon realms were like scattering around the universes. And the Namekians also came from the demon realm, which, you know, adds a new layer to like Demon King Piccolo from the original Dragon Ball. And it's basically like the demon realm is just split up into 3 different like realms, and like all the kind of like good characters that you'd be familiar with, like the Kais and the Namekians, are all from like the middle one, and they're from like the nicer parts of the middle one. But yeah, so the bad guy steals Dende because he wants Dende to make them Dragon Balls. Because the Dragon Balls in the demon realm have never actually been gathered because they're protected by these like super powerful robot guardians, and no one has ever been able to defeat them. So Goku, and what is it? Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Bulma, and the Supreme Kai all end up going to the demon realm, along with 2 characters like that originate in the demon realm, and they're all children until the last episode, or the second to last episode. They do some cool, it's both like some cool stuff as far as like Dragon Ball history goes, and then also just some cool stuff with like how they had it work, where like they were made children, but they didn't lose all their abilities, but like they don't know how to fight in tiny bodies. So like there are several episodes where like Goku and Vegeta both talk about like not really being able to like control their bodies the way they can as adults, because you know everything is shorter. Like they don't really know what their reach and stuff is anymore. And one of my favorite scenes, it was in either the first or second episode. Goku goes down to Korin's tower and is looking on the roof of the tower for his power pole, because at the end of the original Dragon Ball, during the King Piccolo saga, in order to get up to Kami's lookout, Goku actually takes the power pole and shoves it into the top of Korin's tower, and like uses like the extend thing to get up to Kami's lookout, because he doesn't know how to fly at that point. And it just, you never see the power pole again. It shows up in a movie, so that doesn't count. But this actually has it like, oh yeah, he just left it there, and he remembers it's there, so he goes back to look for it. And it turns out it's actually at Master Roshi's house being used as a clothesline.
Goku remembers something?
Yeah.
Goku actually like has a smart brain moment for a second?
Yeah, he has a couple of them in this.
That's weird.
Yeah. It's funny. It's meanwhile, the entire time, the one guy they're traveling with that's like from the demon realm, his name is Glorio. Goku does not say his name correctly until the end of the last episode.
Okay.
The entire time he calls him Gliro, and the entire time he's just like, it's still Glorio, and then like answers whatever Goku's like stupid question is.
Yeah.
But it's also little kid Goku, so it's even funnier.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you have little kid Vegeta, who is just fucking Vegeta, but tiny.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's just angry and furious at everything all of the time.
Yeah.
But then this also gave us, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, which like they actually work it into it where like it's not much like the Super Saiyan 3 in like the Buu saga. It wasn't like, it's not a form that they reach with like anger or whatever the way that like all the other ones were. Like it's just you got to train really hard, and eventually you could get to like push yourself there. Mm-hmm. Like Bulma's literally like, oh yeah, no, he has not stopped training like for a second since everything ended. And so like the first time you see it, he's like kid Vegeta. And then the second time he actually does it as adult Vegeta, which was cool. And at the end, Goku makes a comment about him finally getting the Super Saiyan 3, and Vegeta's just like, no, it's totally different. It's Ultra Vegeta 1.
Vegeta.
Yeah,
of course. Was this the series? Wasn't there a series that like made Super Saiyan 4 canon, or did they not do that?
No, that's this too.
Okay.
So that's the other thing. So Goku actually does Super Saiyan 4. And it's weird because this, like I said, this takes place between Buu and Super.
Yeah.
It's within a year of them beating Buu, and Goku never does Super Saiyan 4 or even mentions Super Saiyan 4 in Super. But in this one, so when it first happens, he's Kid Goku, and he's kind of getting his ass beat by like the final villain, and like the eldest of the Namekians it still lived in the demon realm. He stayed behind, and he's actually the one that like created their Dragon Balls and created the guardians of those Dragon Balls, and he can do some crazy shit where like they bring him to Earth to find Earth's Dragon Balls, and he summons them to him and then refreshes them on the spot, so they go from stone to Dragon Balls again. And like throughout this series, you find out that he's also the one that like locked off the demon realm so that people couldn't just come and go from it anymore and shit. And at the end, like, Goku's losing, and so, like, he does something and, like, powers Goku up, and Goku becomes Super Saiyan 4, but actually stays as, like, the kid. Whereas in GT, when he goes Super Saiyan 4, he actually turns into an adult again.
Yeah.
And they changed up the visuals a little bit, so his hair gets red just like the body fur. He does still grow the tail, but his arms and hands get bigger, more like a monkey's. So he gets like big forearms and bigger hands, and his eyes turn red, where I want to say they're yellow in Super Saiyan 4. They might be black in like the GT version. And then so like it almost seems like this guy like unlocked it for him or something like that. And then he's able to do it again when they get wished back to being adults. But then at the end of the series, like Vegeta makes a comment about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I did it a while ago, and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do it again." And it's like, well, that kind of just makes like the rest of the canon a little muddy now. Like, if it was a thing that was like related to the demon realm or related to the Namekian, like giving him like that power boost, it's like, okay, no, like that's cool, and it gives them something that they could like tie back into Super when like the manga returns. But in this case, it's just like, well, like, why was it never even mentioned then in Super? Like, obviously it didn't exist at that point, but it just kind of fucks that up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they got a more powerful Super Saiyan version in Super. It doesn't really muddy it up that much. It's just,
well, you didn't watch all of Super, right?
No. I've only seen Battle of the Gods and Resurrection Frieza.
So in the Resurrection Frieza movie, like they just go blue the whole time. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
In everything after that, it's like Goku and Vegeta very specifically like utilizing all of the different forms. For like both because like both of them do that thing where they like to test their opponents to see like how powerful they have to be to fight them on like an even footing, basically. Mm-hmm. And also it's like a way for them to like reserve energy, because like Super Saiyan Blue takes way more than like just regular Super Saiyan does. So there's a bunch of times throughout that series where Goku is like literally explaining to his enemies the different forms of Super Saiyan, and like just like stepping through each one of them. And like they just skip 4 the whole time because it wasn't a thing at this point. And then it's just like, oh no, we're gonna retcon it back here. So it's good. He forgot how to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
But that is really like the only real like discrepancy, like annoyance I had with it. Otherwise, like they really did kind of take Dragon Ball GT and like fix that opening arc of that series. Because that was the one where like the beginning of Dragon Ball GT is Goku is training on Kami's lookout with Oob, and old ass Pilaf shows up and uses like these super secret Black Star Dragon Balls to make a wish. And he's trying to make the wish to like make himself like immortal or whatever. But then Goku stops him, or begins to stop him, and instead he wishes Goku was a kid again, because Kid Goku didn't stop him every fucking time otherwise. And then that whole series was just Goku, Trunks, and Pan traveling like the universe trying to find these other Dragon Balls. Until like they got back to Earth and it became like Dragon Ball Z again. That's kind of like what this did, only like it made it a little more like it contained it and didn't add a bunch of like unnecessary episodes where they were just on planets for no reason, just looking for these Dragon Balls that just ended up not being on those planets. This one, like the whole time, they actually had they had a location they were going to, and they were just having adventures along the way, and it was fun. And again, it was 20 episodes. Like I ended up watching the whole thing over like 2 days, because like other than the first episode, they were all just 20 minutes. The first one was like a full 30 minutes. So like an extra 10, but yeah, otherwise like, you know, it ran quick and it was easy to just go like episode to episode. And I was happy to watch modern Dragon Ball.
Nice. According to Google, it's pronounced Daima, Dyemah, Daima.
Okay.
You spelled it wrong. You spelled it Diam. You spelled it. You spelled it with the I in front of the A. It's the A and then the I, which is what threw me off.
So it's funny. I spelled it that way on the outline. I spelled it the correct way on the timestamps.
Yeah. And according to Google as well, Daima, in the sense of Dragon Ball, and in Japanese it means great evil or demon. So Dragon Ball Demon.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because they're in the demon realm, and
Yeah.
and
And
I
like
do.
the kanji can mean individually great and demon or magic. So it's just demon. It's Dragon Ball Demon basically.
Nice. Yeah. And like I think what they did with the whole demon realm thing was cool because they really did find a way to like make that like important to just like the world of Dragon Ball in general.
Yeah.
And like expanded on a bunch of lore that like you really never like you never had to really worry about. So like it didn't like hurt anything. And even some of the stuff that I'm like, well, if the Kais are from the demon realm, like how are they your deities? Like this doesn't make sense. And they explain it near the end. Like so like at least a lot of that stuff it's accounted for how that stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good times. I'm glad I watched it. I'm glad the dub was finally finished because that's all I was waiting for. I was just waiting for the dub to happen. And man, apparently the voice actor for Goku like passed out 3 times while filming the final episodes.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen like him in the booth.
Oh, I
all.
have. He goes 110%
Yeah,
every time.
He like Drew, if you've never like watched it, try to find my favorite one is watching the fight between him and Beerus. And it has like so it'll have the fight in the bottom corner of the screen and it's just the voice actor of Goku doing all the voice lines while in the booth.
Okay.
It is wild. Like he straight up goes for it. And like there's no as far as I can tell, there's no cuts, there's no like giving him a break. It's all like not necessarily in one take, but it's all there. And it's like what, a good 5-minute clip of him doing that fight as he's like getting super powered up and they go for it. So it does not surprise me that he's passed out a few times while recording some of that shit.
Yeah, and I mean like it's a semi-famous story that like he passed out while doing the Super Saiyan 4 transformation in GT back in the early 2000s. 20 years later, doing Super Saiyan 4, he passed out again. Which like, man, that the dude gives it his all. You can't say he doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad that's a thing that they were able to do. And I hope the Super manga actually comes back soon because they did like the little like one-off special chapter with Trunks and Goten again, and then like it nothing else has come out, but I keep seeing like news posts that like it's coming back, but none of them seem to be like reliable. So we shall see. Now, Rich, you watched My Hero Academia, the newest movie. What you're next or your turn?
You're next. You're next. So it like the movie starts with the scene of All Might doing United States of Smash against One for All or All for One. I always get the two mixed up.
I usually have to think about it for a second because like when you actually say it to yourself, it makes all the sense. Like All for One and One for All. So like All for One is the bad guy, One for All is the good guy.
Yeah. So it's him doing the United States of Smash, and then it's him pointing at the screen and saying, "Now it's your turn." This isn't your next, or is it your turn? It should be your next. Let me just you're next. It is, but I believe he says it's your time or whatever. I don't remember what he says in the anime, even though I've seen it a million times. So it's funny because this movie takes place in the 1 week time span between when Shigaraki and Star and Stripes fight, and then the end of the final war. It's that 1 week span this movie takes place in, which is hilarious to me. Because, like, they're supposed to be getting ready for this all-out battle. They already have a plan of what they're going to do. They know the time frame. And then just suddenly, out of nowhere, this whole big shit happens. And it's just like, oh, well, now we have to deal with that. Because, like, basically this machine, the whole like big bad thing of the movie is like this big machine that the villains have created is on its way towards UA, and it's like UA is a key thing for their fight against Shigaraki, and if it gets to UA, it's going to destroy UA. So like,
all right,
they have to stop it from getting to UA. So what it is there is a guy. All the teen heroes are running around trying to help people in shelters and protect the world. It's if you remember during the second to last, or the season, not the most recent season, the season before, the very end, literally like the last episode of that season, where like they're like, all right, Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku, the three of you are gonna put together teams, and you're all gonna go out and you're gonna save the world, basically. Or maybe it was during the most recent season. At that point, they go out and they're just trying to help people as much as they can and fight off any villains. And they come across a villain who, like, they get a villain profile of their powers, and they have more powers than they're expecting. Like, they're not more as in like an extra quirk, but their power has enhanced in some in some form. And he has a girl with him that he's running with. So they chase after him, and another guy shows up, tries to shoot at the villain, and then tries to shoot at the girl. And so Deku fights the guy who tries to shoot at the girl. They get into a scuffle, and then a whole nother group of people show up and re-kidnap the girl that they have lost, that they had originally kidnapped. And one of the characters looks and sounds like All Might. Like, straight up, it's what's his name doing the voice, doing All Might's voice, not powered down All Might's voice, not Piccolo's voice, actual All Might's voice.
Yeah.
And he looks and sounds like All Might, and everyone's confused. It's like, well, I'm going to be the new hero of justice. I'm going to be the new symbol of peace. And then does a thing with powers and starts to fly away, and creates this giant machine out of nowhere. Even though he's trying to be the symbol of peace, creates this giant machine which starts kidnapping people, using the powers of one of the other people he's with. He's with a big group of people, and he's using their powers to like make this big machine. And everyone gets kidnapped, all three teams, and so the kids are stuck inside this machine while the heroes on the outside can't get in contact with the kids. So they're trying to work together to figure out a way to stop it all. And it's basically the girl that he had kidnapped. She had the ability to enhance people who touch her, enhance their quirk, but only certain people are compatible. So if you're not compatible, you get hurt and you pass out for a bit. And so they were like kidnapping people to find more people that were compatible with her to use her powers, because they were actually from, I think, Europe. I think like the UK. They're like a UK mob. And they were using her powers to, like, basically they want to take over the world or something. They don't really have the motivation of like, oh, we want to stop everything. But he eventually, like, he gets in contact with All Might, and he's like, look, I just want to be the symbol of peace. He's like, well, you're no symbol of peace. You're kidnapping people. You're causing harm. You're more like Dark Might. And he's like, that's a good name. That's what my name is now. I'm Dark Might. I'm not All Might. And it's like, oh, so you just dropped wanting to be the symbol of peace after one conversation with the symbol of peace. Okay, sure. And so then it's just the whole movie is them fighting this guy and figuring out how to like rescue all the people that were kidnapped and stop this machine from getting to UA. Oh, and it takes place within like 2 days at most. And it's all within the span of this week that they were supposed to be resting and getting ready to fight Shigaraki and training. The guy's powers is awesome. The main villain, his powers was alchemy. And primarily what he did is like he can change things into things. And so he was changing like gold coins. He's a rich motherfucker apparently. He was able to change gold coins into like energy blasts and things like that. Like if I had those kind of powers, I definitely would have been a hero. Like the reason he looked like All Might is he used his powers to change his face. The reason he sounded like All Might is because he used his powers to change his vocal cords and stuff like that. And he was able to change himself to be stronger, but he was also using this woman's powers, because he was compatible, to make himself physically stronger, because that's what her powers do.
Makes sense.
The guy that was shooting at the woman was her former like butler. His quirk was like he was able to like actually weaken her power. So if she didn't use her powers every so often, it would actually overload and it might cause her to die or like destroy things around her. So he actually had the quirk that only if he touched someone with his right hand, he would be able to negate their powers. In the past, like he was doing that, he gets attacked, the girl gets kidnapped, he loses his right arm. So he no longer has his quirk. So like they made a pact before that, like if she ever gets too out of control, to kill her. And so that's what he's trying to do because she has no control over herself because she's being brainwashed by one of the people on the Alchemist's team, on Dark Knight's team, and she's being forced to do stuff. And yeah, it's like the action was good, it was fun, but it was kind of like a little it felt off because nothing was allowed to happen because of the time frame that the movie took place, if that makes sense.
Which is basically how all of their movies are.
Well, but like Deku couldn't get hurt. No one could get hurt. No one could get injured. Their costumes couldn't like break or rip or anything like that. Like they basically made it out of this incredibly unscathed because they couldn't get hurt because in 3 days they're fighting Shigaraki.
Right.
So it was awkward because all the they got beat around, they got knocked around. Their costumes would have been damaged. They would have gotten hurt, but somehow they didn't. It was weird. It was funny and it was weird, but it was fine. It was all right. It's on Hulu. Apparently it's also on Netflix.
Yeah, the My Hero Academia movies are always a little weird because like they work in the the canon. Like they can fit. There's no reason they can't, but they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, they work it in so that it can be part of it, so that like it makes sense that at what time frame this movie was taking place, which I like that. But yeah, you're right, it's not necessarily canon. There's people out there that are convinced that like they all are canon. And like in what was it, the second movie? Yeah, it was the second movie where Midoriya gives Bakugo one for all so that they could defeat the villain. And then, like, somehow it's just, like, it knew, One for All knew that it was only temporary and it was going to stay with Deku, whatever. There's people who are convinced that is canon because of Bakugo's death scene in the anime, where he's dying and he sees Energy All Might in his like, passing visions. And I'm like, I mean, I guess maybe, but also, I don't know.
It's a stretch.
But they also made a whole big deal about the fact that One for All isn't really just like, although it's one person, it's the friends you made along the way. Straight up, they literally say that. Not friends you made along the way, but it's like, it's not just all the powers for one person, it's the connections you make. And so like maybe One for All is just slowly spreading off to everyone, and maybe that's how, or it's just what they decided to use as a show of Bakugo saying goodbye to his hero as he's dying.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they're not strictly canon, but they're not necessarily not canon. Like they can be, but they
fit into the canon. It's just they're not considered canon.
Yeah, yeah.
Like more so than like your Dragon Ball movies.
Oh yeah, like, yeah, Dragon Ball movies.
Like you have to do some real crazy math to make those even fit.
Well, I mean, Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F, they were canon because they then just turned, and even like Demon Slayer, their movies are canon because they just like turn them into episodes.
Well, yeah, but because they're basically just making their movies like out of episodes, or vice versa, making episodes out of the movies. Yeah. But I mean, like your Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z movies, none of them.
Yeah, the original Dragon Ball Z movies. Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good movie. Like I had just finished another rewatch of My Hero. I just finished on whatever day it was that I watched it. I think it was Saturday. Like I had just finished watching the most recent season again, or not again for the most recent season, but yeah, I guess again. It was my second time watching it, but first time dubbed. But it was my umpteenth time of watching the whole series all the way through. And I had just finished it, and I was like, all right, let's watch this movie now, since it's here. Let's just do it real quick. And I sat there and watched it. And it was good. It wasn't bad. Honestly, I think the second movie, in my opinion, was probably the better of the three. I think you disagree. I think you don't like the second movie as much.
No, I like the second one. The one where they're on the island for like the work study, and literally the one where Deku shares One for All with, or All for One with
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is One for All.
Yeah. And it's like even though like, and this is how like they kind of bring it canon, is because in the first one they talk about they don't go to America, but they go to somewhere, and All Might's American friends are there, and that's where Deku originally gets his braces that actually let him go 100%, and then they mention that in the series, like, "Oh, I'm glad I ordered these before all like everything was stopped shipping, and we got these from America from my friend."
The things that he gets in the movie are different than what he gets in the show.
They're different, but it's like it's from the same. It's from the girl from the movie.
Yeah, there is. I do remember them actually like name dropping those two characters in the series, but then they don't do that for movies 2 or 3.
No, they don't. They don't do any sort of connection from the movies to the show, with outside of just that first one. So yeah, but it was all right. It was all right. It was. I mean, 95% Rotten Tomatoes, 10 out of 10 IMDb. Like it's a My Hero movie, so it's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be fun. Poor friggin' what's his name? Anima, the one who can talk to animals. He was useless the whole movie, and I felt so bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's one of those characters that like very rarely gets any like use.
The thing is, like, where they were, like, in this machine, it was made to like where they were inside of it. It was made to resemble like out in nature and stuff, but they're all still in a machine. And there's no bugs, there's no birds, there's no animals. So he literally could do nothing the entire movie. And I felt so bad for him.
I feel like what's his name? The Sugar Rush guy probably isn't super useful either in those situations because
he carries around his own food pellets though.
Oh, are they pellets?
He brings like either he either makes his own sugar food things or it's just straight up sugar cubes that he feeds himself.
Might just be sugar cubes.
He packs food for him though, is what it is.
So he was prepared and like had that stuff with him.
Yeah, but Anima can't bring animals with him.
No, he can't. But I wasn't sure if that was like they were prepared for this because he is one of those heroes where like if he's not prepared, he's kind of useless.
So they were prepared in a sense that they were out on patrol when it started. They were patrolling around UA campus in Japan to stop like any villains, any jailbreakers and stuff. Because like this is taking place during that 1 week time frame that they're out doing patrols before the final fight. So like they're out doing hero work. So yeah, they were all prepared.
Yeah, I will probably watch this at some point.
I
just don't know when.
Just under 2 hours. It didn't feel like that long either, so it was good.
Yeah, they usually do a decent job with these movies. They're not bad.
Yeah.
They're entertaining, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Schedule 1 or Link to the Past?
Let's get into Link to the Past for now. I'm like quarter of the way through it. I got the 3 pendants and the Master Sword, so like I just got to do the 7 princesses now, but I still have to fight the wizard first for the first time.
So you have to go back through the castle.
I've been through the castle, and I got to the fight with the wizard. I stopped because I died against the wizard, and I didn't feel like going back through all 7 floors of that dungeon again, or whatever, however many it is. And I'd already used my healing potion, so I needed to go get more healing potions anyway. Because I don't think there were any fairies throughout the dungeon. So yeah, I needed to make my way back up, and I didn't feel like going all the way back up that dungeon. You got
the bug catching net, right?
I do have the bug catching net, yeah. But like, I can't remember if there's any fairies in the dungeon leading up to it to capture a fairy to add to my, because I only have 1 jar right now. I don't know if I could get more, but
you should be able to. Drew, I think by the time you've cleared like the light world, you should be able to have 3 jars, right?
I don't know where they are, man. Whether you can or can't, I don't know where they are.
No, I'm trying to remember, like not like that you should have gotten them. I can't remember like order of operations. I think you could have up to 3 right now.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I know one of them's under one of the bridges.
Yes.
But I stopped.
The third one.
I stopped also because, like, and I've done some research now. It is the software for my capture card that puts it on a delay. And
there is a delay for sure.
It is a when fighting the fucking wizard, it is an incredibly drastic delay because the only way to damage the wizard is to swing it back. And if you're a second off, like I'm hitting it as soon as the wizard fires, but by the time the wizard fires and I see it's behind. So yeah, it's there is a a delay, and like even a lot of the game, like the way I'm fighting, I'm just like, now that I have the Master Sword and it shoots the beam when you attack at full health, I'm just sitting there spamming attack. I'm not like waiting, or I'm just spamming attack now.
In a lot of cases, that's what you do against the non-bosses anyway. It's really just the bosses that you have to like strategize against.
Yeah, and it's like when it came to fighting the boss on top of the mountain,
that's going to be a pain in the ass with the delay.
Oh, I like somebody was on stream, like talking with me on stream, and they're like, just charge up your sword and poke it. I was like, oh, that makes sense. So it wasn't that bad, because like the delay is bad for timing button presses, but it's not that bad for like getting to a point where something is or going to be, because you can plan for that kind of thing. Like it's rough. It can be a little rough, and like sometimes I overhit a button and I fall and stuff like that. So it's like you can learn to compensate for it, but it's a pretty rough delay for a game like that. So that was the other reason. Like 2.5 hours into stream, and I'm like, I want to try to set up the system a different way so that maybe this delay isn't here, but I can't do it right now.
Are you going to try, like we had talked about a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, like, I'm going to try setting it up. I'm just going to set it up on one of my monitors and just have a one monitor set up with everything going on the one monitor and the game on the other.
Because like you have like a legit capture card, so like there's got to be an option to like not have that delay, because otherwise people wouldn't be using those.
It's I don't know. From what I'm reading, it like the capture card that I have, which is the HD60. When it comes to Elgato's software, it is only compatible with the 4K software, which the 4K software has the delay. So it's not the capture card. It's the software.
So what do you have to... So, like, this is a legit question. What do you have to use the software for? Like, I've never used one of these.
I have to use the software to actually capture the gameplay. To like, be able to play the game on my monitor.
Okay, so it doesn't just make it where, like, you can, like, just tell OBS to just use that, like, input device.
No,
like,
I need
the software running, and then you tell OBS to look at that software.
Yeah, you need the software running, and especially I would need the software running because I would need to be able to see it on my screen. And so, like, you're playing it on your PC through the software. But yeah, from what I've read, I only did a little bit of research. I'm going to try to do a little bit more before I play again. But from what I read, it's like the HD60, which is the one I have, and not the Pro version. If I had the Pro version, it'd be no problem. But the version I have, the HD60, is only compatible with their 4K capture program. And that program itself has a delay. So I don't know if maybe I can find a different program that I can use.
And you know what? I bet a lot of people just don't play through the software. They probably pass through to either another monitor or a TV.
They probably put it on their TV and just capture their gameplay on.
It has dual output, right?
Yeah, it has dual output.
Yeah, I guarantee that's the issue, is that the software is causing that delay. And if you were using the pure output going through the other out, you shouldn't have an issue.
Yeah. So I gotta, if I had a third monitor, it'd be perfect. But no, what I have to do is I have to disconnect one of my monitors, plug in the HDMI output into the monitor so that I can use that as my game screen, and then have the other monitor as strictly like for everything else I'm running, for like the software for the game, for the capture of the stream, or software for the capture, OBS, and everything else I have to do.
Can you hijack one of your work monitors?
I'm already hijacking one of my work monitors.
Oh, for some reason I thought you had 3 monitors and one of them was your work one.
2 of them are work monitors.
Oh, only one of them is actually yours?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't have space to run another monitor. But yeah, the 2 monitors, my corner monitors are my work monitors, and then the one that looks directly straight towards me, which is generally the one that I'm playing the games off of, is my personal monitor. So
I'm curious now. So you have like that one monitor that you play your games off of is hooked up to your PC, and then like you just like have like an extra cable to plug one of the work ones into your PC too?
I have a Switch. I have
Oh, you do have a little Switch.
Yeah, so
Nice.
I have this. But after work, I just press a button and it switches the middle monitor to my PC, and then when I'm done with it, I hit the button and it switches it to the work PC. Yeah.
Could you do that with the third monitor too, just to give yourself the extra screen?
I would need another Switch.
Oh, your Switch only has the one input output on it?
It has it only has the two inputs and the one output, or one input and two outputs, or whatever. It has it has enough plugs for one screen and two inputs. So yeah, it's. I mean, what I could do is, honestly, if I had another Switch, I could set it up on the other monitor and then turn that on and have the third monitor as just the game monitor for capture card. That's too much. I'm not going to spend money for something that I don't often use.
Yeah. So if you're like your monitor is where you usually play the game. So everything else is already generally on one like the other screen anyway.
Yeah. The only thing that and it's just more recent of a thing that I do now, which I could probably still figure out a way to do it, is I will have my game on the screen in front of me, and then behind the game I have TikTok's chat, because I can't get TikTok live chat onto my chat because TikTok doesn't have that sort of integration yet. So I have to have a window open for TikTok, and I just have the chat opened. And then and that is split between the two screens. So the chat is on the screen where everything else is on.
Oh, okay.
But other than
okay.
Other than that, everything else, everything OBS, my chat, my notifications windows, my streams both for Twitch and YouTube are all on there. Plus the 2 or 3 other people I'm lurking as well are over there as well. Everything I don't really have to look at is on that screen.
So this is legit just a question. Have you tried off streaming, with just everything shut down other than the capture stuff, to see if the input lag is there too, and just to rule out that it's not a system resource issue?
So it was there when I was playing Bloodborne, but that I was recording still, but there was nothing else open besides just me recording Bloodborne.
Okay, so you didn't have extra streams running and all that stuff?
No, it would just be me recording Bloodborne. If there was, it would have been 1 and not 4. If there were extra windows open, it would have been for me to look something up, and then I would get to that point and I would close it, boss fights and stuff. Generally, it was just me. It was just OBS and the capture program. And I watch my RAM, because I have on my Stream Deck, I can have my memory usage. And when I'm using the Switch, when I'm using the capture, I don't think it gets over 50%.
Well, so it's not just your RAM though. There's a lot of stuff that could cause things to kind of struggle. But if it was happening without all that stuff going on, I doubt that's the issue. Yeah. I figured that's an easy thing to rule out, is maybe you just had too much stuff going on for it to keep up with. But it sounds like that's not the case. So
because other people are having this issue as well, and I saw threads about it, hey, use this program, and if you can, don't use the 4K program. It's the program. It's not
that's fair.
Nothing really I'm doing, unfortunately.
Other than that, though, how are you enjoying Link to the Past?
I mean, it's good. Nothing. The only difficult. There was really only one difficult quote puzzle that I ran into, and that was just me being dumb more so than anything else. And it was in the 3rd dungeon on top of the mountain, when you're trying to get the orb that lets you keep your shape when you go to the Dark World.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how to get the orb because I kept dropping to the to the level down below where the hole is, and I would land on the button. And just me, I wasn't thinking, oh, drop from the top of the hole, not the bottom of the hole, and you'll land at the right spot. It didn't click to me that I was landing based on where I was falling from. And so I ran that a few times, and somebody popped in. I was like, I can't figure this out. And they're like, try falling from the top hole. or the top of the hole, and I read try falling from the top hole. I'm like, I've done that, and I do it again. And they're like, no, top of the hole. And I'm like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. It makes total sense. Because, like, to me, what was registering is, like, I was falling. And, like, the game wouldn't register where I'm falling from. It would just register that I'm falling. And so I would always fall to the same spot. It didn't click to me. Because, like, that's what I think about old games. But yeah, it's good. There was a few points of frustration, just, like, not really knowing where to go at times, or just, like, and I think it's primarily because of the lag, that, like, I'm getting attacked and hurt at times that I probably shouldn't have been getting hurt at, or should have been able to dodge better, that I was, like, getting really mad at. There's a lot. My biggest issue is the game doesn't want to give me fucking hearts. Like, I don't know what I have to do for the game to get me hearts. Like, it's frustrating. And this is where, like, my frustration for, like, older games, especially, like, something like this, like, RNG is not on my side. I have 700-800 rupees, and I'm throwing pots to get more hearts because I'm at 4 of 7, and I want to fill up my hearts. And I'm not. I can throw 1,000,000 pots, and I won't get a single heart. It's just it gets like frustrating. I'm like, this is where I get frustrated with games. Like, RNG like this just kills it for me, because it doesn't want to give me what I need.
Yeah, and, like, there's certain places in those games where, like, you're always going to find, like, a heart or a rupee and stuff like that. And then there are those places where it is, like, RNG, like, usually, like, before bosses, any pots there are going to give you hearts and, like, bombs or arrows, depending on, like, the boss.
Yeah.
And then, like, you're, like, one of the big things, like, especially after you get through, like, the wizard, is, like, exploring, like, the map. And, like, really, like, looking for, like, secrets, because at that point you should have, like, all the core abilities, essentially, to, like, unlock stuff and, like, get additional things. Because by now you should have the flippers, right? So you can swim.
Nope, I don't have those.
Do you really not need those to get that? Yeah, I guess you don't need them to get that far. But yeah, like, I would, like, definitely, like, explore the map more.
Yeah, there's like at least one location I haven't been to yet.
The Zora domain, apparently.
That's Lake Hylia.
Nope.
I've been around Lake Hylia, but I haven't been into Lake Hylia.
No, that is not the Zora domain.
But then there's somewhere on it's like the top right side of, or like the right hand side in the mid to top before the mountain, there's like a little location right there I haven't been to yet. That's really it. It's just really been like the one location that I haven't gone to.
So the top right is Zora's domain. But there's, like, if you wander around enough, there's like you'll notice, like, cracks and things that you can blow up.
Yeah.
Will do, like, heart pieces or, like, different weapons.
Yeah, I've gotten all those. The only thing, like, I don't have yet that I know I need is, like, the hammer or whatever you need to pop the, like, pegs into the ground so you can get past them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's that.
But I'm guessing that's something that I'll just get eventually. It's not something I would get this early.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like, optional stuff, like the ice and fire rods.
Yeah, I got the ice rod because they tell you to go get the ice rod.
Yeah, true. Is the cape optional, or do you get that all the time?
I don't remember.
I know the rod that makes the blocks you actually get, because you need that for one of the dungeons.
Yeah,
but I think the cape might be, like, an optional one.
Yeah, it seems optional because I can't ever remember, like, actually needing it. Oh, that's where the fucking third bottle is.
Yeah, and then, like, the bottles, the flippers. There's, like, the upgraded swords you can get throughout it. Out of curiosity, Rich, did you get the punishment to your magic meter?
No.
Yeah, he can't yet.
You get that before you finish the light world, can't you?
No, you need the fucking hammer to get it.
Oh shit, you're right. In my head, it was the glove. You needed the first glove to be able to lift the stones.
Nope. You need the gloves to get the flippers.
Yeah.
He could have the flippers. The magic, no.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff in that game. It's fun. Like, it's a good, like if you spend the time exploring, which you may or may not do, like, depending on, like, how you're feeling with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against exploring, but like for me, especially when it's an older game, but generally like yeah, more specifically when it's an older game, like the exploration comes with where it's guiding me to, and it like that corner of the map, like where probably the Zora domain is that I haven't been to, that I'm like I'm gonna have to go check that out. Like they haven't guided me there yet, so like I never went over there.
Yeah,
So
and these games don't
haven't had a
guide
need
you to
Well,
everything, which is
yeah,
a shame.
and I know. Yeah, like they guided me to the ice rod, and that's where how I got that. Like at one point, Shashralashalala or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
He was like, I need you to go to the northeast corner of Lake Hylia. There's something there that you should use. And so I made my way all the way around Lake Hylia and got the ice rod. And like I'll explore from time to time. I'll be like, oh, like what's over here? Oh, what's this thing right here? And like I got the heart container that you get from draining the dam and stuff like that.
Right.
And like there's things like in near Lake Hylia by the little wetlands area. There's like that whole area that you need the hammer to break down, and there's an enemy in the middle. I'm like, all right, there's obviously something there. I need to get that. But like I don't have the hammer yet, and
yeah. There's some cool stuff that you can like kind of find and unlock as you like get the different weapons and all.
Yeah, that's
even like the medallions are always cool to find because there's kind of like they're not puzzles, but like you kind of have to just think about them sometimes, and then like once you figure out how to get up to them, you're just like, oh, cool, yeah, now I have this medallion that will just obliterate everything on the screen.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not against getting everything. But at the moment with like, and it's not a super serious time constraint, but like at the moment where I'm like, I want to get everything done by a month from today, actually. And I have Resident Evil 2 still to play through, and I need to do both scenarios. I'm like, all right, I kind of need to, I'm not rushing to get this done, but I want to like, if I don't 100% it, I won't 100% it, but maybe like I'll go back one day and 100% it.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff that you don't absolutely need, like getting all the heart pieces. Like you just take some more hits that way. There really are just like a handful of like extras that aren't like dungeon weapons that do just kind of make things a little bit easier for you, like finding the flute. Like getting the flute makes traveling easier because it unlocks a bunch of like fast travel points.
I think you do explicitly need to get the flute to finish the game.
You know what, you might need to.
Like, because I think you have to use it to fast travel to a point that you can't get to any other way, and then mirror back. Like, I'm 99% sure the flute is actually required.
Oh, now that I have the Master Sword, I have to get back to the top of the mountain. That's right, I forgot about that. I'll have to do that next time, too. Because there's at the top of the mountain next to where the dungeon is that you got the pendant up there. There's a bridge to the left, and then you can put your sword up. It says to put your sword up. I have to do that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because there's some stuff that you can get to once you get like the hook shot. There's there's
like that was
one sword upgrade, I think, or two. I know.
Yeah,
there's the tempered sword. I can't remember if there's another one. There's also like there's upgrades to like the boomerang and your shields and stuff that like they're kind of hidden and like you don't have to do them, but like the boomerang upgrade helps because it makes the boomerang go way further.
Yeah. It was one thing I was talking about on stream the other day was like the unfortunate thing about playing a Legend of Zelda game that you've never played before is you kind of know what you're getting anyway. Because like I know I'm going to get the hook shot. I know I'm going to get the boomerang. I know I'm going to get the bow and arrow. I know like there's going to be gloves that are going to make me stronger. Like the hammer was something that I don't think's been in any other Zelda game, but it's like all the item, like there's not often a new item in a Zelda game, or if it is, it's not one that's going to last. And there are a bunch of items that are just in every Zelda game, like outside of Zelda 1 and 2. There's a bunch of items that are in every Zelda game, like the hook shot and the boomerang and stuff. So I was like, all right, yeah, I know I'm going to get the hook shot eventually, and when I do that, I know I'll be able to get to this point and that and whatnot. So.
Yeah, this one definitely has some items that are more unique-ish. Like, excuse me, a lot of those rods you don't really see in a lot of the mainline Zelda games. The cape you definitely don't. So like there's a little bit of unique, but yeah, like a lot of it is just like, yep, you're gonna get a boomerang, bow and arrow, hook shot, like you're gonna check off all those like core elements from Zelda game. You know,
when do I get my superpowers from the Zora domain?
What?
I'm just talking about Breath of the Wild.
What do you get from in Breath of the Wild?
You literally get superpowers from each of the ghosts. Like the bird people, the Ritos, you just literally get to like jump really high.
Right. They give you all those little like abilities to use.
Yeah,
I forgot
the
about
Gorons,
that.
you get to like eat an attack or something like that.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Like those little like you, because like the Zora one, or not the Zora, the bird one lets you like soar up.
Yeah, the Ritos.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the ladies give you. I can't remember what they do. But yeah, you literally get superpowers in that one. But yeah, it's good so far. I'm hoping that like I get a little bit more enjoyment out of it when I set it up the system a little bit differently so that I can just play the game.
Not frustrated with like boss fights.
Not having to deal with like, and it's really the only boss fight right now is the wizard that's frustrating, and it's because of the delay. Every other boss fight,
later ones that are going to be a problem for you too, because with a delay.
Yeah,
it's like I feel like there's. I know the final one for sure, but I feel like there's one or two other ones that are kind of like timing based. That like you'd probably be able to get through, but it would just be like frustrating to have like the delay and having to like trying to count for like that delay.
Yeah, like I thought about like when it comes to the wizard fight, just spamming the attack so I don't have to time the for the delay. I don't know if that would help, but like I at one point was on the opposite end of the screen, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get as far away as I can so that as soon as the attack comes out, I can swing to hit, and I know that'll be the perfect timing. But because I was so far out and I hit, it wasn't angled properly, and it like just missed the wizard. I was like, you got to be fucking closer, or a little bit closer, or I just timed it off. So I was like, yeah, I need to not have this delay.
Well, would you like to tell us about Schedule 1 now?
Yeah. I started playing Schedule 1 as well. So because, like I said, there's so many games that I want to get through and get into before my anniversary stream, because there's going to be new games added after and potentially during that, based on potentially how many more subs we get and whatnot. Because of all that, I decided on Tuesdays I'm going to play Schedule 1, and Sundays and Mondays I'm going to play whatever the other game is we're playing. So this way I can get a decent way into it. Schedule 1, I'm surprised how much I enjoy it.
This is the drug game, right?
This is, the drug dealing game. Just because like I haven't gotten far enough into it to start making like cooking meth or anything like that. It's just been weed, and it is rhythmic. It is like it's not hectic unless you make it hectic. There can be a lot going on, but like it's a lot as much as you set up to have happen. And like there wasn't an instant where I was like sitting around with nothing to do. Like I started with two other friends, and it was like, all right, I'll start growing and packaging. You guys start dealing and whatnot, and let's like get money going. And so that's what I was doing for like a good hour. I was just growing and packaging, and then running around while everything was growing and packaging. I was picking up trash because you can sell trash and make a little bit of money off the trash you sell. And like keeping the apartment clean that we have and whatnot, so that it's just not a pigsty, and selling all that. And it was like, it's nice because like you grow it, you then go to package it, and you have to one by one, at least at the beginning, until you get the second tier of packing station. You one by one put the nugget of weed into the baggie, and put the baggie into the like just into to the side, and then nugget of weed into baggie to the side. And you just do that 20 times. And it's just rhythmic, and it's chill. And like I am getting like lost into like hyper focus mode when doing this. And like it was a little bad from time to time. It's like I need to talk. I need to be a streamer. I need to talk and conversate. But I'm just like losing myself into it because it's nice and calm and chill and not like super hardcore or super need to focus. And it's fun and it's silly. I got to the point where you can mix and they tell you like, hey, why don't you start mixing the weed with different things? And so I am using a strain of weed called Sour Diesel. I mixed it with a donut, and the donut is one of the side effects of the donut is it's calorie dense. So when they smoke it, they actually get fat. So I called that Sour Fatty. And then one of the next side quests was to mix a strain that's worth $60 or more. And so I was like, all right, well, you can get like Coca-Cola, you can get cola. I was like, let me get cola and mix the cola with the sour fatty and call it hyper sour fatty because the cola will make you energized. Which the energized doesn't do anything for the NPCs, but you can smoke your own drugs. And if you were to smoke it, you'd be faster. So I was like, I'll make hyper sour fatty. So I do that, and it's like $57. It needs to be $60. I was like, all right, you know what? Fine. I'll take Viagra and mix Viagra with hyper sour fatty, and I named it stiff fatty. And Viagra, and so now what it does is it's calorie dense. It makes you energized, and it has an effect called Tropic Thunder, which I don't know if it swaps the skin color both ways or if it just makes you black if you're white, but it changes your skin color. And so now it does all three. I called it stiff fatty because Viagra. It's just funny. And like I'm not selling that yet because I'm like there's a lot that goes into making it. And so like it's probably more cost effective just to make the sour fatty and not go all the way up. I just made stiff fatty just because I need to do it for a quest. But yeah, you can, after the basic strains of weed, anything you mix, you can name it yourself. And it just can be, you can come up with the most ridiculous names, the silliest names and stuff like that. Like I said, I haven't like gone too far into like the dealing of like meth or anything like that. I'm still in like the apartment, the smaller building that you can have. So like you start in a hotel room or motel room, then you buy an apartment, and then you can eventually buy like a house or a barn, and have more space to start growing things. But like when you get to the point where you're in like the barn or even in the house, if you're playing solo, you can like hire people to come like grow and mix and package for you. So you don't have to do that. You can just deal. And yeah, there's like, it's a lot of intricacies in this game that like, I don't know how big the team was that made this game. It was a small team for sure, but I'm like surprised like how much you can figure out and learn for this game. And there's like, I know a bunch of people that like, yeah, I have like 3 save files for this game. One for this person, one for that person, another one for another person. And I'm like, well, I'm only going to have one. So if you don't join me one week, I'm going to just play myself, and you'll just have to, because like it's not like each person levels up separately. It's you're all running the drug empire. So I made myself look a little bit like Walter White. I made myself chubby. I have a goatee, but apparently, and I wasn't even trying. I'm wearing green with brown pants. I'm wearing a green shirt with brown pants. So I'm Shaggy Walter White. And one of my friends that joined me was like, I'm just going to be Jesse Pinkman from the first episode you see him. So he's just running around in his underwear. I was like, okay, that's fine. And you don't get in trouble for it. So that's fine. And it's going to be interesting to see like all the other side effects. Cause there's so many different things you can mix with your drugs to just have stupid side effects. And like one of these days, I'm afraid my neighbors are going to be hearing me play because I'll have the windows and doors open and hearing me talk about, hey, we need this meth, we need this coke, we need this weed, and they're going to call the cops on me because I'm talking about this shit, and I'm going to get swatted from playing a fucking video game, and it's going to be hilarious. But yeah, it's a fun. It's like again, like I generally don't care to play games like GTA or games where like you're basically a what was the word I was using the other day? A delinquent. Like, I don't really care for this stuff. I don't really care. Like, you guys know, like, TV shows that I'll watch, like, if the people kind of suck, then I'm not really going to care. Like, I'll be 100%. I started watching the 911, the original 911 from, like, before that was spun off into also Lone Star. And the first season was a hard watch for me because every character was irredeemable at first. Every character kind of sucked. There was maybe one good character in that. They settled out by the end of the season, and now season 2 they've gotten better, and like they're actually like good people, or like less shit. Not really less shit. Like they've redeemed themselves. Really, is what it is. Well, like the first season was rough, and like that's what like this game is like. All right, well, you're just being a shitty person. You're doing shitty crime things, and like I don't really care for it. But I'm like, this was well made. Like I was chill and relaxed while playing this. I was having a good time just playing, just doing some stupid, mundane, monotonous things. There were times where it got hectic, like after my friends left and I was like growing, packing, and dealing by myself. It was like, all right, this is a little much. This is a little much. So I need to like lower the stakes a bit, or lower the playing field a bit. And like maybe give more customers over to my dealer, because eventually you can hire a dealer. And like I don't know if you need to, like you can assign customers to the dealer. And like I don't know if I assign all the customers to the dealer, will they stop contacting me, or do I do half to him and half to me? I don't really know how it works, but like he takes a cut of what he sells, so you don't want to give him all your dealers or all your customers, because then he's taking 20% of all your sales.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, it's like it's something I'd still have to like figure out and play with. But
there's actually a lot to this game, it seems.
There's a decent amount to this game. I don't think there's like an end game, but there's no like win condition. So like I'm just gonna probably play this every week until my anniversary, and then after my anniversary, like the Tuesdays will be the Tuesday will be the day I play Pokemon, while like until I finish up everything I need to do for the anniversary streams, while the other days will be the days I play the reward game. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's only $20 and it's fun and it's silly, and like I mean, you probably don't have to be a meth dealer, but like a lot of the game is like building up your meth empire and just drug empire in general, so you kind of gotta do it all. So I'll do it all eventually, and I'll just make some silly sounding meths. Apparently you can like mix gasoline with shit too, and people like that. They want something where they want like drugs that like, because they'll tell you what they do and don't like in certain like drugs. So it's like you can keep up your customer relations with them by selling them the drug that like gives them the effects that they want. And one of them is like, I can't remember what the effect is. It's like either gross or sick or something like that. And it just legitimately just makes you vomit. And you can get that by mixing gasoline with whatever drug you're using.
Well, that's weird. That is.
Yeah.
But why not, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to just, like, the unfortunate thing is you can only mix each drug with one thing at a time. But I kind of want to continue to mix my stiff fatty with everything, and I want to see like all the effects on one single drug, and like see, but like I'm just like I don't want
super drug.
Yeah, but like I don't want to take that time, because I need to use the time mixing for sour fatty, because that sells great, and stiff fatty hasn't sold at all, and I put it up on the market, so no one wants a stiff fatty apparently.
I mean, do you blame them?
I mean, no.
Good. I'm glad.
Or maybe I kind of do blame them. Like, wouldn't you want a stiff fatty?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't smoke the marijuana. I don't know.
But it's a euphemism.
I mean, I get that.
A stiff fatty. It's like
you're being inappropriate.
Like, it's
what I'm hearing is you're being inappropriate.
I mean, that's what that game brings out on people.
Is it
inappropriate?
Or is it just you?
No, I'm sure other people are inappropriate like that too.
Or what do you think? You think it's just Richie?
Yeah, I think it's just Richie. I think you could totally play this game very straightforward and call your things very much more
Marijuana 1, Marijuana 2.
No one's gonna buy Marijuana 2.
They're not buying stiff fatty either. So how do you know? How do you know?
I bet you if you walked out onto the market in the real world and said, I got Marijuana 2 here, people would be all fucking for it. Be like, 2? They made a sequel? What the fuck is this?
No, Marijuana 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, maybe if you add the Electric Boogaloo, but Like, I think if somebody says, "Yo, I got this new strain called Stiff Fatty," they'd be like, "Yo, let me try that Stiff Fatty."
Obviously not.
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. I haven't been able to get people to test it. Like, I think I brought it to one person and they liked it. So like you can actually like for free give people like trying to get new customers.
Yeah, you can give them a taste
like,
for free so you can get them hooked.
Give them one free weed, and then they're like, "Oh, I like this. I'm gonna order more Stiff Fatty." And then what you do is you make Stiff Fatty 2, but don't tell them it's Stiff Fatty 2. But like brand it New Stiff Fatty, and it's not as good. And then when you bring back Stiff Fatty Original, you upsell it. You up the price.
No, I still don't think that'll work.
Probably not in the game. In real life, it would work.
Oh yeah, real life.
Probably not in the game.
Yeah, definitely in real life.
Yeah.
But I guess anything else about Schedule 1?
No, that's it. That's really all.
Well, then I think that might be an episode.
Yeah,
I think so.
Fantastic. Well, in that case, if you would like to find more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also help us out by supporting us at patreon.com/onequest. Can't support us here with your dollars, though. You can go to your favorite podcast platform, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of those things help. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/onequestonline or at @1_quest on Instagram and Twitter. And we're onequest.bluesky on Blue Sky. I looked it up finally. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/onequestvideo, and you can always send us an email to social@one-quest.com. Rich, what is your streaming?
Twitch.tv/B_1. It's for video game streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Schedule 1, not Super. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Sea of Thieves, the new season of Sea of Thieves starts the day this releases on the 22nd. You should come hang out with me. Hopefully the servers are running properly and not like shit, because first day of the season is always kind of rough. But yeah, really the only thing to push is the 21st and 22nd of June is my anniversary. So come hang out. There's going to be a whole Pokemon event, bits and subs, increase the total number of Pokemon I have to catch.
Nice.
Come check it out.
Cool. And with that, we will be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
See yas.